Good afternoon and welcome to This Girl is on Fire. I am Kathy Connor, your host. For those of you that do not know me, I am the founder and CEO of Go Getter Girls Network. I am also a paralegal investigator with the law firm of Lytle Writer Smith, Ivy and Fronrath. I am a podcast host. I have written 2 ebooks and I am super excited to be on the show today. And we have an amazing member. So for those of you that are just tuning in, we Go This Girls on Fire is dedicated to the members of Go Getter Girls Network. So we bring on members of the Go Getter Girls Network so that they can share their resources, their passions, their successful journeys, what the hurdles they've overcame, how they did that, and so on and so forth. Today, we have definitely a girl on fire, which is Sailynn Doyle. But before we bring Sailynn on, I just want to mention, if you have a question, please add it in the comments. We will make sure we get that question answered. And we love to hear from you and hear where you're tuning in from. So without further ado, I am going to bring on Sailynn Doyle. Welcome to the show, Sailynn.
Hey, Kathy, thanks so much for having me.
So let's dive in, Sailynn. First, let's talk all things Lily, because I see your background and I know that you are just savvy in the world of Lily. So tell us all about that and how you got started.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Massachusetts, where it was navy, black, red, brown, tan, and more tan. And so when we started coming to Florida, I noticed all the beautiful colors that Lily Pulitzer offered. And I actually went home to sell my business in 2017 and came back after selling the business. And it was on our anniversary, and my boyfriend surprised me with my first Lily Pulitzer dress, and then also pulled up with my old golf cart completely wrapped in the matching print as a gift. And I was just so blown away. And so I blame my Lily addiction on him. So, but it really just truly makes me happy to get up every day and put on something that's bright and fun. And I just love their mission of, confidence and bright colors and whimsy. It's really just something inspiring that Lily Pulitzer started back in 1959. They're celebrating 65 years this year.
Wow. I love Lily. I mean, being a Florida girl, I love all things Lily. So you always inspire me whenever I see you in your Lily.
Well, and it's so funny because when I became a business coach, everyone was like, you need to wear a suit and you can't wear Lily. And I'm like, I'm doing it my way.
That's right.
Tough luck.
So, Sailynn, you are the fun business coach at Passion, Purpose, and Posture. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I had a senior home care franchise back in Massachusetts for 10 years and absolutely loved it. Best 10 years in business I could have expected, since I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And when I sold that in 2017, I actually moved into the direct sales industry with a skincare business. And I realized what I was focusing on mostly was coaching women on how to build businesses. And at the advice and coaching of a marketing coach, said to me, Sailynn, fulfill your love of business and coaching women. And so I started Passion, Purpose, Posture in January of 21 and started coaching women. And just like I said, I was going to wear Lily Pulitzer. I wanted to set myself apart because I really envisioned business coaches as men, and I wanted to do something different. And so that's where I added in the word fun, and it's always been a topic of conversation no matter who I talk to. So I think it was a good move.
I love it. And definitely do your own thing. I mean, you don't have to wear the suits because that's what makes you you. And I love that. It kind of brings in the branding of the fun business coach. So I absolutely do love that. So you mentor 6-figure women entrepreneurs from burned out to balance in 90 days. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So my own personal story is with burnout. So I started my first business in 2007. For the first 3 years, I was working 80+ hour weeks. And after 3 years, yes, I reached the $1 million revenue level, but it was requiring me to maintain those 80-hour weeks. And I could not figure out how to, start working less and keep growing my business. And so just one regular day, I had a team member call out sick, and that was like my aha moment, my draw a line in the sand, where I really said, something has to change. And I just went on a mission to figure out how I could continue to grow my business without having to work 80-hour weeks. And it was almost magically, once I drew that line in the sand, I went from like 80 to 40 hours because I didn't get comfortable and say, oh, let me just try what I've always been trying. Like, I forced myself to do different things. And one of those things was I met with a business coach. It was my mom's longtime friend. And he gave me three things. I vomited everything that I basically said, here's all my problems. And he said, here's three things, go do them. And when I started working on those things, then I was able to shift. And it took me 2 whole long years. But at the end of 2012, I was able to take off in the RV to sunny South Florida down here for 30 days in our RV with my boyfriend without worrying about Wi-Fi, being on the phone all day, and worrying about whether the business was going to fall apart. And so after that trip, it really opened my eyes. And then I spent the next 5 years fine-tuning the system in order to be able to do it. And now I can help women do it in 90 days because I think so much has changed in the past 10 years too. Our demands on our time and energy are so much more, and we can't wait 2 years to get that transformation. And so I know that women need to see some sort of change within 90 days in order to keep going, because I'm seeing so many women say, if something doesn't change, I'm going to quit, close, or sell my business. And I don't want that, because small business is built on women. We own 42% of small businesses in the United States. And, that is super important to the economy.
No, I totally agree. And you're right. We as business owners, we put all this time into it. So I love the fact that you were able to streamline that and take it from 80 hours to 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You want to share a little bit about that, or don't want to reveal your secrets?
Oh, no, there's no big secrets. And, magically I got to 40 pretty quickly. And then once I figured it out after 2012, I actually got down to 16 hours a week. And the thing is when I learned how to streamline things and do things not necessarily the right way, but the smarter way, our revenue tripled, my personal paycheck 4x, and I was only working 16 hours a week. And really,
Wow.
the first thing that I do with my clients is I really ask them what they want out of their life. And this is a really hard question for so many people, not just women. And I think this is because when we're a kid, right? People are always like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be? Right. And they ask you all these things, and they applaud you. Like, I wanted to be a circus clown. And they were like, oh, good job. But then when you get to high school, it's like, okay, what do you want to be when you get out of high school? And then it's like, when you get to college, what do you want to be when you get out of college? And then it's like, you graduate from college and people stop asking you what you want to be. So if you're a woman that's in her 30s, 40s, 50s, no one's actually probably asked you what you want to be or what you want out of life for a very long time. And so really finding that out is key. I listened to a presentation last year from the VP of Microsoft. She runs Microsoft 365, and she has a quote from Alice in Wonderland on her desk. And it's Alice says to the Cheshire Cat, which way should I go? And the cat says, well, what do you want? And she says, I don't really care. And he says, then it doesn't matter where you go. And that's so true about life and business. If you don't care where you're going to end up, which I'm pretty guessing that we all do care what we want, then it doesn't matter which path you take. But if you do care and you want to hit certain goals and dreams and all of those different things, then you need to know what you want and have clarity with that. So that's like the really first step, is figuring out what you want. And saying you want more time and money is too generic. We got to go 5 layers deep.
No, you're right. So tell us some of the obstacles that you faced and how you overcame those obstacles. Like, what are your
So
recommendations to our viewers or someone that's watching that's maybe having some difficulty in their business?
yeah, so I think the biggest hurdle we face is prioritizing, right? So I had a fellow mastermind uh, attendee in my mastermind group school me last December that priority comes from the Latin word, which means one. And so you really need to have one priority. For me, mine is my mental, physical, and spiritual health, because when that's my priority and I focus on that, everything else in life and business seems to fall into place. And so if you're really want to start reducing your hours, you're feeling those signs of burnout, that anxiety, the depression, the frustration, the overwhelm, um, you really want to figure out, what do you want? What is your top priority, right? Is it to be more present with your family? Is it to travel the world? Is it to, build a successful business so you can, donate your time, talents, and treasures? Like, what is it for you? Is it your health? Everyone has a different priority, and it's going to change as you grow personally and professionally. But when you figure that out, it's a lot easier to get out of decision fatigue. It gives you a lot more clarity, because every decision that comes across your desk and your email and DMs and all of that, you know what your priority is. And you say to yourself, is this opportunity going to bring me closer to what I want, or is it going to pull me farther away? So it helps you make decisions a lot clearer. And also it keeps you on that path with, those blinders on, so you're not getting distracted. So that's really the first thing, is figure out your priority and use it to make decisions. And then I know a lot of women struggle saying no to people, right? So someone says, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? We get bombarded all the time with people asking things of us. And it really becomes easier to make those decisions when you know that priority. And then when it starts building up your confidence, one of the things that I teach women is what I call the sandwich technique, which is negative, positive, negative. And it's basically telling someone, thanks so much for thinking of me. Unfortunately, I can't help you out right now. But if something ever changes in the future, I would love to work with you in the future. And it really helps you respond to those requests, attract your vibe, whether that's clients or team members or manifesting money, whatever it is, and really stay focused on what you need to do. Because I find that when women really figure out what they want, what their priority is, then they can start reducing their schedule very quickly and start the process of getting out of burnout. So that's how I think magically I was able to go from those 80 to 40-hour weeks, because I quickly realized what was my focus and what I needed to pass on.
Excellent advice. The one thing that I have learned over the years in juggling multiple multiple responsibilities is I had to allocate time for family and time for
Mhm.
fun, take vacations, and then it's okay to say no, like
Yep.
'cause similar to what you just said. And there has to be boundaries. So
Yes.
that, in my opinion, that's what has worked for me is the boundary section. But you're right. It's if you don't have those, I could see where you could get burned out easily and quickly. What are your recommendations in terms of the downtime? Like, how often do you think someone that's hustling in their business, maybe working 80 hours, trying to turn it into a 40-hour week, what is your recommendation in terms of the downtime?
On what to do during their downtime?
Well, like how often do you think someone should allocate time for downtime?
Every day. So I truly believe that I can teach the majority of women how to build and grow their business in 4 hours a day. Right. So it's all about I have a love hate relationship with routines. Like, I love them because I know they work, but I hate them because I want to have the flexibility. And so I know a lot of people, when they're feeling so overwhelmed and they want time management hacks and tips and all those things, they suggest, weekly planning sessions and use a colored calendar and time blocking and all of those different kinds of things, right? Those are all the things that come up. But really, when you focus on your top priority, then you can clarify what you want to do. And so I really think if we have routine around a 4 hour intentional workday, and then give us the flexibility the rest of the 20 hours of the day to live our life, do things we love, and really fill our cups, then we have a really great relationship with routine, intentional structure to grow our business, which allows us to go to bed every night feeling accomplished, like we did the work needed to grow our business. But then we also gave ourselves the flexibility of why we became entrepreneurs, to respond to things that happen in business, to live our lives so we can continue to grow and scale and not feel burned out. So it's really all about not getting more done in less hours. It's being more intentional with the hours that you do have. So while I do think weekly planning sessions and colored calendars and time blocking is all important, I think it needs to be done in a certain way to fill our entrepreneur cups.
Excellent advice. Let's go back to the six-figure entrepreneurs that you took from burned out to balanced in 90 days. Actually, let's go back even further. So you, in a 3-year time span, and correct me if I'm wrong, you basically you were at $1 million in your business. You hit the six-figure rent. Okay. Well, more than that, actually. Um, how did you do that? What recommendations do you have for our listeners regarding maybe some tips to help them on that path to creating that same $1 million revenue?
Yeah, so I started in 2007, and in 2010 we hit $1 million in revenue. But like I said, it was requiring those 80-hour weeks. And one of the things that the business coach told me to do back then was I needed to have better systems. My business needed to run like a well-oiled money-making machine. And I was in the healthcare industry. We ran 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And so I needed systems in my business in order to take the guesswork out of things. Because one of the things that I was complaining about and frustrated with is my open door policy was more like a revolving door all day long, in and out, in and out, in and out. And it was because what he said is I had become a teller. People had a question, I told them the answer. People had a question, I told them the answer. Instead of giving them the system with all the steps and empowering them in order to make decisions on their own, and also knowing that it was okay to make mistakes too, that they could execute those systems on their own. Then I needed to go, I had a small team at the time. I needed to work on my team. I looked at everyone's expertise, right? I really broke it down. I had conversations with them one on one. What do you love about working here? What are your strengths? Like all of those different kinds of things. Where do you see yourself? And then I ripped apart my organizational chart and I tried to move people around into positions that would make them happier where they currently were, and then potential for growth.
Mhm.
And so this is like the behind the scenes work that allows you to stop working in your business 80% of your time, and start working on your business, right? Being that leader, setting the expectations, allowing, building a team of experts and allowing them to do their job without you having to micromanage them, fix their work, all of those different kinds of things. And so if you're feeling the burnout, the overwork, you're working 7 days a week or answering the calls at night, you don't have to do it all. I am granting you permission today to get the help you need. And so if you already have a team, it is so important to assess what their skills are. What are their strengths? Have conversations with them. As a leader, you should have that open conversation with your team and kind of say to them, okay, I'm working on doing some restructuring. What do you like to do? Where do you see yourself? Those different kinds of questions. So you can go behind the scenes and say, okay, if I move this, 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 and this, and I implement these systems for tools and tech and automation so we can streamline things, then we're all going to be working in our zone of genius, which is going to make people happier. They're going to want to do the work. They're going to get behind your company and your mission and your vision and your values, and it's going to grow. So you really kind of have to pull yourself out of the weeds and look at that big picture, and then get back in the weeds and fix those systems, fix that support, and then step back again and watch and see how it's going and support them on their journey. Really, a good leader knows that it's not their job to do the daily operations. It's their job to work on vision and strategy and where the company's going. So that's really when I stepped away from doing the in-person marketing to doing the consults with the clients and putting people who were experts, like way better than I ever was in those positions. That's when the company not only grew, but I got my time back.
I 100% agree with that. I think it's important to place people where they feel their strengths are and in a position that they will enjoy. So you're absolutely right about that. But I feel like it's difficult, especially when you first start a business. You are a micromanager. You want to make sure everything is done the right way until you have at least for me, a complete system in place where okay, now it can run smoothly. Let me get those people, on board that see the same vision and also want to see the growth and want to make an impact. So
exactly. And that's why in the legacy business system that I developed, which is the unique blueprint to take women on that 90-day journey, one of the second piece after we find out your personal vision is we work on your business mission, vision, and values, because you're going to use that in attracting those team members. You're going to use that in attracting those clients. So Kathy, putting out there for the go-getter girls, your business mission, vision, and values is attracting the women that you want in your network, in your communities, in different chapters. And so that's going to have people understand what your vibe is. And then you're going to be able to easily attract new people. And that's huge, because then you're not going to be doing as much. And I think when you're building a team, you're not perfect. We all make lots of mistakes. I have, you have, everyone does, right? Maybe we admit to them, maybe we don't. But we have to give our team members the same grace, right? And if we strive for 100% perfection, sometimes it's going to hold us back from growth. And you really just have to say, I came from the healthcare industry and I was like, get it done. If you make a mistake, fix it. And as long as no one's like dying or getting hurt, like we're doing good, but you really have to be okay with things sometimes being B-level in order to get it out and take that messy action. I am the queen of messy action. I try and make sure everything's spelled right, but other than that, I'm like, okay, there's an idea. Let's run with it and test it, because you're not going to know whether it's going to work or not unless you actually do it and test it.
Right. I'm a firm believer, and we learn from our mistakes.
Yes.
Our mistakes are part of the journey. And
they're not really mistakes, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just a learning experience.
A learning tool. Exactly. Yes, exactly. So mistakes are, we all do it, like you said.
Yeah.
That is, Sailynn, amazing information. Thank you so much for sharing all your wealth of knowledge that you have. What do you like to do for fun?
What do I like to do for fun? I love to walk in the beach every morning. I go for a walk along Beach Road, check that out. I love to shop at Lilly Pulitzer with my mom. There's a lot of Lilly events, so that's always good. I love to read. So I am a total introvert. No one ever believes me on that. But I totally am. So once I check out for the day by 4 p.m., we have family dinner, and then I come home and I just love to read like a chick lit book, a little bit of romance and funny and comedy, and really just give my brain a break. I love to ride my bike on the beach. It brings me back to that childhood feeling. Riding my bike always gives me that feeling. So it's really whatever I just kind of feel like. And that's why I'm such a huge believer in having that intentional structure for business building activities in those 4 hours, and then giving yourself the flexibility to do what feels good for you the rest of your day. Spend time with your family, have fun, go for a walk, exercise, take an afternoon nap, whatever it is.
I love that. Do you have a Lilly car, don't you? Or is it a Lilly bike? I know there's something Lilly in there.
I have the Lilly golf cart, and
Golf
I
cart.
also have a Lilly bicycle. Yes, an e-bike, because work smarter, work not harder, right?
I love it. You're right. And isn't there a Lilly outfit that's named Sailynn?
Yes. So a couple years back, they named 3 skirt sets and now 2 rompers. It's called, yeah, the Sailynn skirt set and the Sailynn romper. So my mom said we should have trademarked my name. So
Right? I love that. Is that after you?
it is. So there's people from Lilly Corporate in the Facebook groups, and they kind of look around for different names to name different pieces after. So yeah.
I love it. That is so cute. As a matter of fact, I saw one of your outfits. It was the long skirt with the
Yes.
shirt. Yeah,
Yes.
it
I
was a couple
absolutely
years
love it.
back. That was so
Yes.
cute. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I absolutely love it. Any other tips and tricks that you would like to share regarding business?
I think I'm going to play off of that, of what you said. I think if you've been trying to get yourself out of burnout with tips and tricks and hacks, and you're not seeing that those are working, it's really time to do something different and really speak to someone. My DMs are always open. Send me a message, send me an email. I know you have my email. Um, but really reach out and let's have a conversation, because all tips and tricks and secrets and hacks and all of that, they're just band-aids. They're not getting to the root cause of what's going on. And spending 90 days, which is like such a short amount of time nowadays, really getting to the root cause and fixing it is going to allow you to skyrocket your business with ease, which is going to feel so much better than what you're searching for late at night now with Google searches and all of those different kinds of things.
That definitely makes sense. Let me ask you real quick. What are your thoughts on using ChatGPT?
I love, 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 love. So I use Chat GPT a lot for being more creative. So right now I'm working on a new resource teaching women what to do during those 4 hours every day. And I have a like basic title. And what I'll do is I'll put it into Chat GPT and I talk to it as a friend. And I say, I am developing this resource. I'll tell them who it's for. I'll tell them what I want them to get out of it. I might give some bullet points. And then I'm like, this is the title that I have. I would like it to be like more catchy or more fun or shorter, and give me 10 examples. And then when it brings it back, I'll be like, okay, those are great. I loved number 4. Can you do this with it? So I really treat it as a human, and I always prep it with what I'm looking for them to do, and give some history on it. And I probably use it every single day in my business for something, for social media, YouTube videos, LinkedIn newsletters, like everything basically, just for that extra creative genius as far as wordsmithing.
I love it. I think it's the greatest invention of all time. It's
Me too.
especially if I want to create a template on something, I can just tell it exactly what I want it to do. And I mean, there's some tweaking because it's not perfect, of
Of
course,
course.
but my fingers, it saves my fingers from a lot of typing. And so I think that is definitely a tool that should be utilized more in terms of business owners and entrepreneurs that are
Yes.
especially posting on social media and creating content.
Yes. And I use a social media posting software that has Chat GPT ingrained within it. And so it just makes it so much smoother, and it really analyzes your posts and then helps you write better. You should use the same tool all the time so it gets to know you and your writing styles.
Right. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. All right, Sailynn, thank you so much. I absolutely love this session. You have such a wealth of knowledge, like I mentioned before. And I'm going to put you backstage. But before I do, I just want to put your information on here, not StreamYard. All right. So I encourage, if you're looking for a resource to help you build your business and also avoid burnout, or if you're burned out and you're looking to become more balanced in 90 days, you need to contact the Fun Business Coach, which is Sailynn Doyle. Her contact information is up on the screen. I encourage everyone to take a screenshot. You can email Sailynn@passionpurposeposture.com. And with that, we'll leave it up for a few more minutes. But with that, I'm going to put you backstage and wrap up the show.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. All right. Also, if you are interested in becoming a Go Getter Girls Network member, or maybe learning more about Go Getter Girls Network, I'm going to put our information up on the screen. You can take a screenshot as well. We currently have 4 chapters, one in Palm Beach County, one in St. Lucie County, one in Martin County, and soon, launching in October, we are opening the Indian River County chapter. So you can learn more at gogettergirlsnetwork.com. Part of what we do here is, This Girl is on Fire is a tool and a resource to help other entrepreneurs and business owners level up in the business world. So with that, have a great weekend, and we will see you soon.